What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jeremy Awakens podcast. I am so happy that you are here, and today's episode is a little bit different. I am going to be sharing with you a very personal experience that I just had in Delray Beach, Florida. It was my first time ever doing ketamine-assisted therapy, and I had a lot of questions on social media coming in after I posted a story about it. So I actually thought it would be useful to dive deeper into my experience and share a little bit more also about ketamine therapy, because right now a lot of people are using ketamine the wrong way. They're using it as a drug. They're using it as a mechanism to escape their reality rather than actually use it as a tool for deep healing and transformation. And that is the purpose of this episode, to really go deeper into the powerful potential benefits that ketamine offers. Okay, so first of all, I want to say it was a really beautiful experience, and it was just a reminder of why I feel so called to explore these alternative modalities that are really shifting the way that we look at health, growth, and consciousness. And again, like I mentioned, I also want to use this podcast as an opportunity to shed light on the difference between using something like ketamine to escape versus using it to expand. There's a massive difference, and it's time that we have real conversations about it. Okay, so before I dive into my personal experience, I want to talk about what ketamine actually is. So ketamine was originally developed as an anesthetic back in the 1960s. But in the last 2 decades, researchers have really been going to work, and they found that in lower controlled doses, ketamine has some incredible therapeutic effects, especially for people who are suffering with treatment-resistant depression, PTSD, and childhood trauma. In fact, studies published in the American Journal of Psychiatry back in 2021 show that around 70% of patients with treatment-resistant depression experience significant improvement within just 24 hours of a single ketamine session. That is absolutely crazy if you think about it, because we live in a society that is handing out SSRIs and antidepressants like it's candy on Halloween. And the truth is, these medications are actually doing nothing to address the root cause of these people's depression. They're putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. Sure, they might be making these people feel less sad, but in that process, they're also numbing their emotions. They're dimming their light. And what's so crazy about this study from the American Journal of Psychiatry back in 2021 is they found that 70% of patients who went through one treatment of ketamine-assisted therapy had significant improvement with their treatment-resistant depression. Think about that. Think about that number, okay? And you probably have someone in your life right now who's going through some challenges with their mental health. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's the past version of you. I know that I've gone through my dark nights of the soul, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to just explore this other modality, okay? Unlike typical antidepressants, which usually take weeks or months to kick in, ketamine works by boosting a neurotransmitter called glutamate, which creates rapid neuroplasticity, basically helping your brain create new pathways and release old patterns in the habits that no longer serve you. Think about how powerful that is. We're actually addressing the root cause. You've probably heard me talk a lot about this when it comes to psilocybin and microdosing. That's why I'm such a big proponent of these medicines that actually stimulate neuroplasticity in a natural way. Now, research from the Yale School of Medicine also shows that ketamine can usually reverse the neural damage caused by chronic stress. This was a study back in 2018. So it's not just about numbing symptoms, it's about helping your brain and soul reconnect and heal itself. Okay, and we'll dive deeper into this and how this relates to my personal experience in a moment. Now, ketamine often gets lumped into this category of party drugs. And trust me, living in Miami, I see it all the time. You'll be out at a restaurant, a lounge, a club, and someone will take out a key and do a key bump of ketamine. And I have probably done that like 2 or 3 times in my life. But I know that's not the way to actually use this medicine. And again, you'll hear about people snorting K at clubs, using it recreationally. And the difference between recreational and therapeutic healing is night and day. Okay? And it's the same thing pretty much with every compound, including things like cannabis, including things like mushrooms. Like, you can do these things very negligently, irresponsibly, or you can do them in a way that is actually setting the intention for healing, growth, and transformation. And that's really what I promote. Okay? I'm somebody that enjoys living life. Have I taken a small dose of mushrooms or MDMA or other things and gone to a club or festival? Absolutely. And I'll probably do that more than once in my future. But it's about being smart and responsible and understanding the consequences of these compounds. That's really what it's about. Okay? I'm not here to tell you like never do anything recreationally. It's like, hey, we're here to live life. We're here to experience magical moments, and safety is important in that process. And once you learn how to actually implement these medicines in a powerful way that's intentional, you can actually see, oh wow, I don't want to abuse this anymore. This is such a sacred practice. I don't want to just snort a line of ketamine or cocaine at the club. Like, no. So in a clinical setting like I went to with NeuPath in Delray, it's all about set and setting. You're in a super safe environment. You have a trained guide and therapist supporting you. They had 3 of them, actually. It was so incredible. There's 9 people at the experience, and there's 3 space holders who just made me feel so loved, so supported every step of the way. And we're setting intentions. We're following a process that's rooted in integration and healing. So the best way to think about this is, at a party, you're often using substances to escape your reality, right? In therapy, you're using these substances to face your reality with courage, with compassion. And we're actually doing the deeper work of looking into some of the things that are causing us pain, that are causing us discomfort, that are causing us some sort of blockage in our life. And oftentimes, it's much easier to just numb or escape ourselves when we're going through things like that. But what these compounds and medicines allow you to do is actually dive deeper, find the root cause from a place of curiosity rather than judgment. And then we're able to just learn more about ourselves in that process. And that's when real healing begins. Because once we have the awareness, that's when we have the ability to create new changes and new actions and new habits. But if we lack the awareness, then we're just going to stay asleep, and we're going to stay in these patterns of numbing ourselves perpetually, like this hamster wheel. Literally, we're just going to go round and round, repeating the same habits, the same patterns, the same cycles. You probably recognize this because you've probably dated someone in your life and broken up with that person, and then you date someone else and they're basically the exact same person that you just broke up with in a different costume. Why is that? It's because you didn't take the time to actually reflect on that last relationship and learn the lesson. Hey, what was it that I loved about that person? What was it that I was attracted to? What is it that caused a disconnection? What is it that I'm really craving in my next relationship? How do I need to show up? How do I need to elevate my vibration to attract a high-level partner? These are the questions we should constantly be asking ourselves. But if we don't, we're constantly going to be in this hamster wheel of repeating the same patterns, habits, and people and relationships in our life. We need to be willing to sit in the darkness. We need to be willing to feel our feelings fully. Are you ready to feel limitless in 2025? I'm talking limitless physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, financially. This is your sign to try out microdosing for 30 days. We have a very special opportunity for podcast listeners. You can get started for only $222. This includes the medicine being shipped to you, the highest quality, fair trade, organic, sustainably sourced microdoses in the world at your doorstep. And you also get access to live group coaching calls with me, our private community. This is your sign to take ownership of your life in 2025. If you're ready, hit the link in the description, and I can't wait to see you on the inside. So it's so important to make that distinction. Ketamine, when used properly, becomes a powerful portal, not just some party trick. Okay, now let's talk about my experience with NeuPath. I went into my ketamine journey with a lot of curiosity and honestly, just a deep trust in the process. The environment at NeuPath was really beautiful, soft lighting, intentional music, very calm, grounding energy. And I just felt fully supported from the moment that I stepped into the doors. Okay, and I want to first off say, I'm not getting paid to record this podcast or say good things about NeuPath. I'm genuinely just sharing my authentic experience with you. Now, we went through a process of sharing intentions, just making sure we were all comfortable in the environment. And by the way, I posted an Instagram video to kind of summarize this experience. So if you want a visual to the space and my experience, I'm gonna link the Instagram video in the show notes, okay? Through this experience though, when they were administering the medicine, it was through intramuscular injection. So therapists came over, made sure I was all good. I'm lying down, I'm blindfolded, I'm just focused on my breath. And that is when I got my first injection with the ketamine. And, once you get it injected in the muscle, it hits pretty quick. It's a couple minutes. And once the medicine started working, I felt this beautiful sense of separation from my everyday identity. It was like being able to zoom out and see myself from a new perspective, almost like stepping outside of my thinking mind and stepping into pure consciousness, pure loving awareness. And it was really beautiful. And I was just doing my best to focus on my breath and fully trust, fully surrender. There was a moment where I raised my hand and I literally just asked one of the therapists to hold my hand because I just wanted to hold someone's hand and feel that support and love. And as I was drifting off, it was nice to just feel that unconditional love. It was peaceful. And it was a deep reminder that I am not my problems. I am not my challenges. I am not my fears. I am not my insecurities. I am the awareness behind them. I am a divine soul. I am a reflection of God. That is what kept coming through to me. I am a reflection of God. I am a reflection of God. I am a reflection of God. And that reminder was just so necessary for me because I've been kind of navigating different challenges with business and what I want to pursue next. And there's been some fear coming up. And this was just a reminder bro, you can do whatever you want. You are capable of whatever you desire. You just need to commit to it and you just need to stay focused on it. That was a message that I got because you're a reflection of God. Another message that I was getting was that simplicity is everything. Simplicity is everything. Simplicity is everything. And I was just thinking about how this could apply to my life. And to be honest, I've never been someone that's into material things. Like, you'll never see me with a crazy fancy watch. I don't even own a car anymore. I really do try to live very humbly. Like, I don't have a problem paying for awesome experiences with people that I love and stuff like that. I love doing those things. Eating at nice restaurants. Like, I love paying for experiences because that's what life is about. But when it comes to like material things, I've never really been one that gets consumed by that. And the simplicity is everything, I think, was more applying to like business and other walks of life. Like, close some of the tabs that you currently have open. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everything is that important. And it was a beautiful reminder for me, and I'm still integrating because this was literally 2 days ago I had my experience. I'm still integrating, but simplicity is everything. That is something that definitely came through for me. And I'm really excited to explore more of. 12 minutes after that first injection, they came around and offered a second dose, which most people took. They offer you like a light dose, a regular, or high. I took a light dose, and it just like kept me elevated, shifting in and out of consciousness. I felt lighter, clearer, more connected to myself, to the creator, and to the bigger picture of life. And I'm not going to say ketamine fixed me or anything like that. I literally did one experience. It probably lasted, the actual ketamine probably lasted like 30 to 40 minutes. And then, after we have integration and as a group, we're sharing what came up for ourselves and what steps we're going to take to really improve and take action on our lives tomorrow. That's the most important thing, right? So the ketamine didn't fix me or heal me or anything like that, but it did create a space for my soul to remember its power. And I will mention that in our group of 9, 2 of the people were cancer survivors who like either had stage 3 or stage 4 cancer. And they have basically, like, if you looked at them, you would never think they had cancer. And they're living like 8-9 years after they were supposed to die. And they were just sharing their experience and, how they've been on this healing journey of understanding the frequency of their thoughts and how that has such a profound impact. And hearing their stories in the integration circle was really inspiring. Like, it was beautiful, honestly. And I just think ketamine has a really powerful potential to help people who are really going through like treatment-resistant depression, PTSD, other serious traumas. Like, to be honest, I'm not going through any of those things. Of course, I have my different things that I struggle with occasionally and battle, but I just wanted more so to experience this myself and see what it opened up for me. And because I work with a lot of clients who are always looking to improve their health, their mental health, etc., I wanted to see if this place was somewhere that I felt like I could recommend to my friends, my family, my clients, which I absolutely highly recommend. Like, NeuPath did an amazing job. I'm very grateful that I got introduced to them and their team. And now I just want to segue kind of into why. And I'll keep this short, but why do I explore these type of therapies? I get asked this quite a bit, right? It's not because I'm chasing a high. It's because I believe that healing is a birthright. And I believe that traditional Western medicine, while valuable in some areas, often teaches us to numb our symptoms instead of healing the root cause. And that's why I've been on this journey the last 7 or 8 years of really exploring these different modalities. And I believe in tools that awaken consciousness and don't suppress it, because I think most disease and illness is actually caused by suppressed feelings and emotions. So when we're actually willing to feel our feelings, as challenging as that might be, like when we're actually able to sit in the darkness and we're able to cry, we're able to scream, we're able to laugh, we're able to express joy and just fully embody this range of human emotions that makes this experience of being a human so special, that is when we start to heal ourselves. That's when we start to awaken to our full potential. We can't keep suppressing things. That is what leads to depression. It's suppression of our feelings, our emotions, our voice. Once we start to open up those channels and those vessels, that's when we heal ourselves. That's when we awaken to our potential. So whether it's plant medicine, microdosing, ketamine therapy, breath work, fasting, whatever the modality is, for me, the goal is always the same. The goal is to remember who we are without all of the attachments, without all of the labels, without all of the external noise. Who are we? What is our soul's blueprint here to accomplish, to experience? That's really what it's about. It's to remember who we are. And ketamine, when done with intention, has the power to reveal that. So I know sometimes I just get really passionate when talking about this stuff, but I want to close the container and wrap this up by saying that ketamine is not a magic pill. Just like I always say, mushrooms are not a magic pill. Ayahuasca is not a magic pill. None of these things are magically going to save you, heal you, fix you. They're going to reveal to you what needs to be uncovered, what needs to be explored more. And in that process of curiosity, you get to learn more about yourself. And through that curiosity, you cultivate more self-awareness. And with that self-awareness, you're able to understand what actions, habits, and behaviors are no longer serving you. You're able to understand what you need to transform, whether it's something energetically, emotionally, maybe it's a relationship that has served its purpose that you need to separate yourself from. All of these things are extremely valuable to cultivate awareness for, because if you're not aware they exist, guess what? You're going to stay asleep. You're going to keep numbing yourself. You're going to keep escaping your reality. So healing doesn't happen in one session or through one experience, but when we approach it with intention, safety, and respect, modalities like this can help you access a version of yourself that's more free, that's more light, that's more aligned. It's great. And I'm literally still feeling like the neuroplasticity effects of the ketamine 2 days after. So if you do feel called to explore this path, do it responsibly. Work with professionals. Set your intentions. Trust your soul's timing. Because the real medicine is already inside of you. Sometimes we just need the right mirror to see it. That's all. So thank you for letting me share my journey with you. I love you. And I'm really grateful for you. And the final thing I'll say is that if you want to learn more about NeuPath, I'm going to include a link in the show notes, as well as that Instagram reel showcasing my experience there. It's only 1 minute, the video, but I think it'll give you like a visual of what the space looks like and how much love they pour into what they do. And that's what it's all about. It's about love. It's about intention. It's about integrity. So I appreciate you listening. Again, maybe this doesn't necessarily interest you or affect you, but maybe it does impact you in your ecosystem, like someone in your life, a sibling, a parent, a son, a daughter, a friend. Like, we all have people in our life that need more support and that need help. And it's so important to remind those people that they're not alone and that we're here to support them, and there's different modalities that are here to also support them. So keep an open mind, keep an open heart. Check the link in the show notes. If you want to book a call with my team, a free 30-minute call to just talk about your own healing journey, if you're interested in working with me directly, we have very limited spots. I think like 3 spots before summer starts. So for the month of May, we opened up 3 or 4 spots. I can't remember which number, but 3 or 4. If you're looking to really get one-on-one support from me, start your microdosing journey. If that's something that you feel called to step into, hit the link in the show notes, all right, in the description. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And sending you lots of love from Miami Beach. I'll see you next time, y'all. Peace. You did it. You made it to the end of the show. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your support in listening to this podcast. And really, my mission here is to deliver the best conversations, the best people, so you can continue elevating and becoming the best version of yourself. And all that I ask in return is that you actually take action on the things that we talk about in these conversations, whether it's certain habits to implement or certain thought patterns or belief systems that you want to reprogram and remove from your life. I just want to remind you that your life is your gift and you are the creator. You are the main character of your movie. So please take action on these things we discuss. And tag me on social media. Tag me on Instagram in your stories at Jeremy Awakens. Let me know what stood out the most to you. Let me know what were some powerful moments for you from this conversation. And finally, if you haven't already done so, it would mean the world if you left a review for the podcast. Word of mouth is our oxygen. This is what allows us to reach more people and impact more lives. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you next time.